Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another session for lesson 4. This video is intended for those students in Gender and Society 2 to 3 p.m. schedule. Now, please do not forget to follow our official Facebook page, which is the Gender and Society 2023. We are now in Unit 2, Biomedical Perspective in Gender and Sexuality. For Lesson 4, I am going to discuss the anatomy and physiology of reproduction. So we will be guided by our lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, you are going to differentiate the female and the male reproductive system, as well as you are going to understand the basis for physiologic processes in female and male. Let's unlock terms first. Okay, reproduction, it is the process of producing offsprings. Okay, without sexual intercourse, definitely you cannot have a reproduction. You cannot have an offspring. So, for genitals, is the external sex organs of for the male as well as for the female. Now we have the primary sex characteristics as well as the secondary sex characteristics. Now we talk about primary sex characteristics. It refers to the sex, to the genitalia that you have present at birth. Now, on the other hand, if we talk about secondary sex characteristics, it is the uh, characteristics um, or the what they call that one, a sign that you are a male or female, that because of the, of course, the characteristics that will shown eventually when you hit or emerge during puberty. Now let's have an overview. Humans experience various physical and emotional changes from childhood to adulthood, right? During your childhood days, you just roam around in your streets wearing nothing, right? Because you are just a child. Childhood refers to an age ranging from 1 to 12, and for the early adulthood is from 18 to 25 years old, and the middle adulthood, and the late adulthood, right? So as time goes by, as we go stages of human growth and development, of course, our physical as well as our emotional changes from time to time, or from stages to stages. So these changes are gradual and progress at different ages because we are different. For example, a 13-year-old girl uh, already have a menstruation, right? But there is another girl that who don't have or who don't experience a menstruation at the age of 13. So she will experience at the age of 18 or 17, 16, like that. It means we are different. It could be a gradual, it could be what do you call it, speedy. Okay. Now we are physically different but similar. All right. If you can see in the pictures, picture A, okay, we have here a petite man, a chubby man, a not so chubby man, and a muscular man. So the physical characteristics of this man varies from one to another. But what the thing that they are similar with? Of course, they have the same penis, right? Whatever the sizes that they have, still they are men. So they are responsible for production of their sperm. Now let's move on to the second picture. This picture of women, we have the petite, we have the black man, the black woman, and the white woman. There is a chubby, right? Again, the same with men. They are different in color, sizes, weight, and height. But what the thing that they are similar, which is their vagina or their female reproductive. So they are capable of menstruation. They are capable of lactation, right? And they are capable of menstruation as well. So let's proceed to another picture. Here we have different sizes of penis, right? You can take a look at the picture, the first picture up to the last picture. So they are different from sizes to shape. Same with the women. They are different. They are also different from each other. But what's similar to them is that for penis, they are again for production of sperm, and for the woman, they are into to menstruation or the reproduction, or they are capable of bearing a child. So then again, whatever the sizes, the shapes of your genitalia or your physical characteristics as a whole, you still have the same function. Okay? Now let's proceed to another slide. So we have here the gonads. We talk about gonads. It refers to the glands that produce hormones that are involved in reproduction and other functions of the body. Okay? So each person has a pair of gonads, right? In female, we have the ovaries for the female gonads and testes for the male gonads. Again, gonads are responsible in what? Producing hormones, no? For male and female, because these hormones are responsible for the reproduction and the function of the body of male and the female. So for female germ cell, it is called ova. For the male germ cell, it is sperm. Now, sometimes the sperm and the semen or the semen interchange the definition, okay, but they are different. Sperm and semen, or salmon, or how do you pronounce it, no, they are different. We talk about sperm. I mean, the semen has the sperm, right? But the sperm do not have a semen, right? Semen, it is the fluid, no, that will go out from the, of course, from the ureter of the male. But sperm, it's inside the semen. So what the thing, or what the liquid will go out from the male body, it is called semen. But inside the semen, there are numbers, or there are hundreds of sperm. Okay, but how can a woman become pregnant, right? So you it is not an accident if you will become pregnant. Of course, you will do the sexual intercourse. After you do the sexual intercourse, the female germ cell, which is the ova, no, will just wait for the male the female wait lang, okay, still have time. Okay, we'll just wait for the sperm or the male germ cell to what? To fertilize. Then after that, it will become a zygote, embryo, and later on it will become a fetus. But it will go a process pa ha. We cannot just say, even though if the matured na ang ano, no, if the matured na ang egg cell from the ovaries, pagawas pa na siya niya paingon sa mga fallopian tube, and from the fallopian tube, it will mag-wait pa lang, no, saya sa sperm. Isa papaspas mo sulod. Now let's proceed to biological female. Okay. Biological female, let's start with anatomy. So this is the anatomy of the external parts of the woman. So they are into the production of fertilization. So it will start during their puberty. So if sometimes you will hear a phrase from your community, oh, hala, gidugo na si Inday, ay dalaga na si Inday. So that is one of the bases why kanang nadalaga na ka. Okay? Next is the female external genitalia. So, okay, I will just make it bigger. So let's start with vulva. Vulva and the vagina are two different types or parts of the woman. Talk about vulva, it is the external here. It is the external genital structures taken together. So from your clitoris down to your labia majora, labia minora, as well as your vagina, that is your vulva, not the vagina itself. No, sometimes we interchange the name of it, di ba? Sometimes we call this the whole part of the external genitalia of the woman vagina, but dili, that is a vulva. Next, we have the mons veneris. It's the pads of fatty tissue between pubic bone and skin. Here, in this part, at the upper portion of your prepuce, upper part of your clitoris, here we have here, sometimes they called it, earlier they called it the agtang. I don't know if it's, you will, understand it, no? So, it is the mons veneris. It is the upper part of your, it's between the pubic bone and the skin here. So, dili po siya bugan. Ha? Next is the labia majora. So, labia majora is the outer lips surrounding all the other parts of the structures here. The first part, no, not the, if this is your, if this is your labia minora, this outside, the outer part here, the one that I am, circle, no, gina-circle ako is the labia majora. Now we have the prepuce. The prepuce is the clitoral hood. It is the foreskin above and covering the clitoris. If the men have the foreskin, 'di ba, makita na to na siya if it is not tuli, if it is not circumcised. But if it's circumcised, the prepuce of it is kana nagbitay, from the corona of the male. For example, if this is the penis, no? If this is the penis, the thing na naglaylay sa iyahang dirikilid, that is prepuce for the woman. I mean for the male. Now for the female, the prepuce is the upper part, no? It is the upper part of your clitoris here. Next is the labia minora. Labia minora is the inner lips here. The inner lips. When you open of course, when you open the vulva, parts of the vulva here, you will find the labia minora. So it has an extensive blood vessels and nerves endings located. So we have also here the vestibule. It is the surrounding the urethral opening. So this is a urethral opening. You have two hole, girls. Okay, for the urethral openings, wherein this is the area wherein your urine, no, will come out. Then the outer portion, that is called, urethral opening, right? Okay. Next is we have the vaginal opening. So this is just your vagina. This is not your vagina as a whole. This is your vulva. This part is your vagina alone. So you also have the opening. Sometimes it is called introitus. Okay? Your vaginal opening is also called introitus. We also have the perineum. It is a perineum. It is the skin, area of your skin that separating the genitalia from anus. Diba? If this is your vagina, no, then this is your anus. Kining area sa panit, no, panit ni mo siya, is called perineum. So, the female and the male perineum is different, no? Kasi nga, sa female, the perineum of the female is too close, too near, 'di ba? 'Di ba pag mangihi ang girls, ang vagina or the female external, the external, genitalia of woman is near to their anus. So it is because, mubo lang ang area, ang skin, no, nga nag-separate sa ilang genitalia and anus. And for the male naman, mas taas ang area of skin or ang ilang perineum ing ana. Next is we already done with the external. Let's proceed to the internal. So we have here the vagina. So this part is your vagina. It is collapsible canal extending from vaginal opening back upward paingon sa imong cervix, paingon sa imong uterus. Okay? So ma-expand ni ang inyong vagina. Okay? Next, during arousal, so you will experience a sexual pleasure, no? It is engorged with blood, so this aids expansion and triggers the release of lubricants from vaginal mucosa. Now, where is your vaginal mucosa? Your vaginal mucosa is here. That is why it produce or release a lubricant. That is why ang girls self-lubricated, no? So dili siya ha, kanang no, amazing ang female, ang vagina sa woman, because naga self lubricate lang siya, parang natural na siyang lawas. It is because of vaginal mucosa. We also have here the cervix. This is das kanang gamay gud nga place, gamay nga agianan, 'di ba? That is your cervix. It is the small end uterus to which vagina leads. So if this is your vagina, next part na niya is your cervix because if open ang imong cervix, paingon na siya sa imong interior na uterus. Next, we have the fallopian tube. Ang fallopian tube carries the egg cells nga na matured na from your ovary. Gikan sa ovary mo, padagan na siya sa fallopian tube if matured na ang egg cell. Okay, that is ready for fertilization. So, from here, the fallopian tube, the fertilized egg, mag-wait na lang na siya no, sa sperm nga mo ato sa iyaha. Okay, we also have here the ovaries. The ovaries is the produce estrogen and progesterone. And we already know what is estrogen and progesterone, right? Talk about estrogen and progesterone. These are female hormones responsible for the characteristics or the development of the woman. No, they also produce egg cells and bring them to maturity. Then a surviving ova that brought to maturity will release into the fallopian tubes. Now, if ang ova or if the egg cells is not yet matured, dili pa na siya mugawas paingon sa fallopian tube. Okay? Next is the puberty. Puberty, it is the sign wherein dalaga or ulitawo na sa tao. Let's start with the menstrual cycle. So, menstrual cycle, it is the beginning of puberty of females. So, pag dugon na jud ka, makaana na jud na ang mga silingan, ay dalaga na jud ka. So, it started from 11 to 15 years old. So, it referred to menarche or menarche. So, average girl, when they have their menstruation, lasted only for 2 to 6 days. Sometimes it goes a week or dugay pa siguro. No? Depende lang no kung pila ka adlaw mo dugon. Depende if the first day is kusog ka dugo, second day and siguro until 7 days. So it depends. Again, if the average for the menstruation of the woman is 2 to 6 days lang siya. And the whole cycle will just range from 24 to 42 days. So uban monthly ang uban 2 months pa siguro dugon or hapit na pa 2 months na dugon ing ana. So, the menstruation begins about 14 days after ovulation, di ba? Kay mag-agi pa man ta og proliferative phase wherein the hypothalamus stimulates the pituitary gland to release the follicle or the follicle stimulating hormones that stimulates the ovaries to produce estrogen. So, mag-start ni siya 1 to 14 days. That is called proliferative phase or follicular phase because it releases the follicle stimulating hormones. After the proliferative phase, mag-start na po ang secretory phase wherein ang tawag ana ang fertilize ka, I mean kanang fertile ka, no? Fertile ka ani nga time because from nag-start na ka sa proliferative phase from day 1 to 14, from 14 to 28, so dili pa jud ka pwede kaayo no kay fertile pa man jud kaayo ka diri ing ana. So it occurs when pituitary gland releases luteinizing hormone that causes the ovary to release a mature ovum, di ba? Kailangan man ang mature, di ba, nato na ovum or mature na egg cell nato kay para ang sperm maka-create di we will have an offspring. That is why it is not parang safe to have sex or to have sexual intercourse during this phase. After the secretory phase, you have the menstrual phase wherein no the ovum is not fertilized. So happy dapat ka girls kay dili ka buntis, kay dili man fertilize ang imuhang egg. Nakuha. Okay. So we also have the premenstrual syndrome. So premenstrual syndrome refers ni siya sa kanang hapit na gud kadugon girls, kanang hapit na kadugon. So sometimes makita niyo yung you will notice no your wife ba or your girlfriend na they are moody or they are bloating ay labad yun ang ulo no ing ana sa mga girls. So that is called premenstrual syndrome. We also have dysmenorrhea. So it refers to ano god kanang sakit na menstruation. Diba? Sometimes manggani no mag-absent ang usa ka babae. It is because dili nila kaya ang painful menstruation. We also have here the amenorrhea. Karang man ka, hala wala gi ko gidugo sa 2 ka bulan or 3 ka bulan, no? Maglayag-layag ko ing ana. So refers to the absence ni siya sa imong menstruation. Pero capable gyapon ka for menstruation ha. Now, kung dili na jud ka capable for menstruation, you will have the menopause. Mag-menopause na jud ka. So age ranges from 45 to 50 years old ang menopause ing ana. Next, after you kanang ano god nagmenopause menopause na ka, the transition from 3 to 4 years is kanang women may experience kanang hot flashes, night sweats, sleep disturbances, sakit sa ulo, anxiety, depression, and of course they are kanang difficult na jud kaayo sa ila to become sexually active or sexually aroused kasi nga dili na sila ano, wala na blood nga mo generate paingon sa ilang vagina. 'Di ba? Same with women, dili naman na utgan o dili na siya mag-erect ang lalaki if there is no blood enough no para mo erect. Okay? Let's proceed to another slide. Puberty. Now, for male, they have the enlarged Adam's apple, and that is very visible for men. They also have the facial hair, the body hair, the pubic hair, and their shoulders become broad. Okay? They also mature the genital organs. So, magkadako pud na ang mudako, no? And of course, they will have a muscular body. For women, enlargement of the breasts, the broader hips, the pubic hair, and of course, the menstruation. Now, we also have the biological male. So, the anatomy, this is the anatomy or the male parts of the body. So, we will study this one as well. The purpose of the male reproductive organ is to deliver a sperm for fertilization. So, the same with women, the development of the organs of the male will start also during their puberty. So, we have the male external genitalia. We have the prepuce. It is the foreskin covering head of penis removed in male circumcision. So this, if you can see the penis of the male, no, the panit here, this is the prepuce. Now this is just the foreskin. If natanggal na ni siya, if natuli ka. If wala pa ka natuli, if this is your penis, no, this black color is your prepuce or this is your foreskin covering the head, no? Covering the head of your penis. So if wala pa ka na circumcised, this is the black one is your prepuce. Now we also have the penis. Your penis has a glans or the head, which is the head. You also have the shaft and you also have the root. If you can take a look at the pictures here, if this is your head, this is the shaft, and this is the root. So during arousal, this become engorged with blood. That is why mag-erect jud siya, motindog jud ang penis. Okay? Next, we have the corona. Corona, again, if this is the head, this rim of glands, this portion, no, kanang raglingin siya, this one, this is your corona. Ha? We also have the frenolium. The frenolium is the thin strip of skin connecting glands and shaft on other side of penis. If natuli na ka here, di kini siya, if natuli na ka, gikan sa imong urethra, di ba this part is your corona. Kining gamay good siya nga murag ugat diri o. Kini nga part jud sa head. Sa head sa penis, that is your frenulum. Okay? We also have the scrotum. Again, the scrotum is not the kinatibuk-ang itlog sa lalaki. It's just that the sac that encloses the two compartments, no? If this is the itlog, no, the thing that that enclose the two compartment, that is just the scrotum. Ha? It means kanang duha, that is your testes, no? Gitabunan lang sa sac or gitabunan lang siya sa scrotum, no? Gitabunan lang siya. So that is your scrotum. Not the itlog is your scrotum. It's just that katong sac lang siya. We also have here the urethral opening. So found on the head of penis, this is the end of tube connected to bladder and used for urination. This is your urethral opening. So pangihi lang jud siya. It is also a tube to which internal structures deliver semen by which male ejaculates. Now, pag mag-ejaculate ang male, they are also kanang a bladder, no? Nga agianan pud sa ilahang semen. The same with women. Siba ang women is they also have the urethral opening and they also have the vaginal opening. Same with the women. They have the urethral opening for their urine and they also have a parang a place po or a hole wherein dito pod they deliver the semen every time they ejaculate, no? They also have the perineum. As I've said earlier, the perineum of the man and the female is different from each other because the perineum or the area that separate the female genitalia and the anus is so close. So near lang jud siya kaayo. Doon lang jud kaayo ang female genitalia o ang anus sa babae. Wherein kung sa lalaki naman layo, 'di ba? Boys, layo layo ra jud ang inyong lubot ug sa inyong penis. Ing ana the area of the skin, no, the distance gikan sa inyong penis paingon sa inyong paingon sa inyong anus is layo ra jud kaayo. Now, let's spot the difference, no? The circumcised, the uncircumcised. They also have the same shaft, no? Namang yung shaft, kutong body sa inyong penis. This is your penis, this is your head, and this white one is your shaft. This is the last one, which is your root. The same, no? You also have the shaft, even though you are circumcised or not. You also have the testes in your scrotum, which is inside, responsible for your semen, no, and other male hormones. You also have the corona. However, your corona is hard to find. It's because of the foreskin nga nagtabon. Halimbawa, if you are tuli, this is your head, no? And you can easily find the corona. Now, if you are uncircumcised, this is the foreskin that cover your head. This is your lisod pa pangitaon ang imuhang corona. You also have the glans, which is the head, no? And you also have the urethral orifice or the urethral opening. So again, there is no kaayo difference no when it comes to sexual activity, when it comes to circumcised and uncircumcised men. So it's just more on the hygiene, di ba? Ipisot ka, di ba? Napa mo tik-tik ang imuhang ano no, diri. Whereas sa limpyo na siya, dili na siya. It is because pag limpyo, dali naman ka siya. Wala namang ko'y foreskin that will cover, no? Sa mga, mag-cover sa imuhang glands. Ing ana. So again, it depends on you kung you will undergo the circumcision or not. So we also have the male internal reproductive. So we have the testes here. The testes is responsible in producing your androgen. So androgen is the same with testes that produce a male hormones, which is the testosterone. So it influences this androgen gland or androgen tawag ano, is responsible for the development and the drive of your sexual motivation. So, the same with your testes produce sperm cells in unlimited quantity rather. So, dili jud mahutdan, no? Bisag everyday ka ga-ejaculate, no? You have unlimited supply, unlimited quantity. So this is your testes here. Now we also have the vas deferens. This is the vas deferens kini ugat-ugat gud diri. So it travels from testicles, no? From testicles paingon sa imuhang urethra, carrying the sperm. When the man ejaculate, no, gikan diri sa testicle paingon sa vas deferens, paingon sa paingon sa seminal vesicle, paingon sa imuhang urethra, then urethral opening dito na mo gawas. You also have the seminal vesicles. So these two glands, vesicles, area, produce alkaline fluid rich in fructose sugar that comprises the 70% of semen volume. So matingwala mo nung tamis-tamis man na siya, no? Anong parat-parat man na siya, no? Anong upload-upload. That is the reason. So because they produce rich alkaline or fructose sugar comprising the 70% of semen volume. You also have the ejaculatory ducts. This is your ejaculatory ducts wherein it connects the vas deferens paingon sa imong urethra. Dire. No? So this area na adira ang imong You also have the prostate, which is the gland producing alkaline secretions. Here, this is your prostate that account for 30% of semen volume that counteract the acidic environment of urethra and vagina. You also have here the urethra. Kining murag ugat ni diri. This is your urethra. So it is a tube, no, within the penis that carries sperm and semen. The rest of the way paingon sa opening o paingon sa opening sa imuhang penis. So dito mo gawas ang semen, no? Now, we have the male hormones. Again, the testes will produce a male hormones, which is the testosterone. Now, if there are times manggod, your testes will not do its function, which is to release the testosterone. That is why we have the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands will do the work of the testes, which is to produce testosterone that is responsible for the growth and development of the male. no? Also, they produce mga sperm. So that's the end of our lesson for lesson 4, the anatomy and physiology of the reproductive organs. Now, again, I just made this video for those students affected by the meeting earlier for Gender and Society, scheduled 2 to 3 in the afternoon. So you can also utilize this video, no? So yun, on Wednesday we will continue or we will proceed to lesson 5. So, yun lang and have a great day everyone.